Hi, today we are going to practice something about the vowels. You know, the vowels in any language is really important because we form the words with the help of these little letters. So in English we have a special case. A vowel has two sounds, a long sound and a short sound. And of course, when we need to use a vowel, we need to learn some rules that can help us to use the sound of the vowels correctly. So let's go to check that important information. Okay, here we have the long vowels and the short vowels. Long vowels are the same vowels that we just learned when we learned the alphabet. Short vowels are little alike to the Spanish. A we pronounce I, E we pronounce E, I we pronounce ye, O we pronounce O, and U we pronounce A. So try to memorize all the sounds, because you for sure are going to need them when you pronounce English. So the question that probably are you thinking about is when I have to use long vowels and when I have to use short vowels. Well, for answer that question, we are going to study the next rules. Let's begin with rule number 1. When a word or syllable ends in a consonant and there is just one vowel, the vowel usually is short. Samples: kite, bat, fish, umbrella. Let's see the second rule. When a word ends in E, the E is usually mute and the vowel before is usually long. Samples: bake, file, same. But if the word ends in L plus E, usually we pronounce like an O, as in adorable. Let's check the number 3. When a syllable has two vowels together, the first one usually is long and the second is short. Examples: pain, bullet, house. And finally, let's check the number 4 rule. When a syllable ends in a vowel sound, it is usually short. Examples: open, unit, paper. Finally, the rule number 5 explains us about the English as an idiom speak that has many exceptions. Remember, English has many exceptions for any rule. The best way to ensure pronunciations is to memorize the pronunciation. So, in that order, we are going to practice these rules and sounds of the vowels with the next story. Jack front the forest. We are going to check only the title to remember how to apply the rules. Here I have the name Jack, and as we can see in this word we have just one vowel. If we apply the rule number 1, it says that when we have a single vowel in a single word, that vowel is short sound. So the short sound of the A is I. So we pronounce Jack. The second word is front. Again, we can see that we have a single vowel here, the O. So we apply the ruler number 1 so we pronounce froan. The next word, the article D, sometimes is pronounced da when we have the next word that begins with a consonant. So in this case, we use the pronunciation of da. The following word is forest. So here I have two vowels. Sometimes I recommend you try to use the words that you can intercalate. I mean, if you have many vowels into a word, you can begin with a short sound, probably. The next would be long, the next would be short, the next would be long. If you begin the word with a long sound, the next vowel will be short, the next long, and the next short, and so on. So try to use that, because many times it's very useful. So here we are going to suppose that O is a long sound, so we pronounce fo, fo. And the next vowel would be short, so we pronounce e. So we pronounce the whole word forest. Okay, let's repeat the title. Jaek front the forest. Okay, let's continue with the story of this friend Jaek. Jaek lives alone in a small house in the forest. He lives more than 20 miles from the road. He rarely leaves home, but when he does, he drives a big car. In the winter, he drives a special car that can move over snow. Jack grows his own food in a large garden. He plants carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, and corn. His apple tree provides him with plenty of apples. Jack also hunts deer, rabbits, and turkeys for food. He lives near a small river, which provides him with plenty of clean water. It also provides him with plenty of fish. Jack loves to fish, and he is pretty good at it. Jack uses an axe and chops down trees for wood. He then cuts the wood into small pieces, which he burns in his stove. He keeps warm in the winter. Jack also has fun. He reads a lot. He has a lot of books and reads most of them more than once. He also writes his own stories with an old typewriter. Every night Jack plays his guitar. He knows many different songs and plays several every night before he goes to bed. Jack does not spend all of his time inside, though he loves to spend time outside. During the day, he looks at plants and animals. Sometimes he even talks to the animals. During the night, he looks up at the night sky. He knows many stars by name. He also plays a lot of solitaire. He is very good at it. He does not always win, but no one ever beats him. So try to practice this story as many times as you can. Don't forget, try to use the vowels rules to try to pronounce the words correctly. Don't get confused. Some people usually confuse Jack with Jake, which is different. What rule do you apply in the first word? And what rule do you apply in the second word? Yike is not equal to shake, so be careful. Thank you and bye-bye.